Hart. Intercepted by Jurgensen. 45, 50, 45. He may go. Bill Jurgensen scores for Los Angeles. A second attempt. 32 seconds left. He is going to throw. Drew Pearson. He got it. Touchdown. Good afternoon, everybody, and have we got a day for you in Los Angeles. Temperature in the mid-60s and Sillicet Earth. What a matchup. The Los Angeles Rams and the Dallas Cowboys.
Well, it's going to be a great game. You're talking about heat. There's going to be a lot of heat on that field today, too, Brent, because Coach Chuck Knox elected to go with Jim Harris as quarterback instead of Ron Jaworski, and we'll see how that develops.
And you know what's exciting? Against that Dallas-Los Angeles game in the beginning of the season, of course, the score was 18-7 Dallas, and we saw one variation of that. It worked so well, and it looked so good, Dallas shotgun offense. Today, through the grapevine, we have heard, folks, that they're going to use another variation. They have 6 altogether, but a new variation, so keep your eyes peeled. Also, in the Los Angeles Times headlines, it says, Staubach looks mobile, agile, and versatile.
If Phyllis tells you about the grapevine of Dallas, believe me, folks, she's got a good one. And you know, with that other game in the AFC title, it looks like Pittsburgh is going back to the Super Bowl. With just minutes left, they lead Oakland right now by a score of 16-7. And I suppose that more than any season that any of us can remember, this has been the year of the official. You remember last week in Bloomington, Minnesota, 3 very controversial calls. And I think the referees made tremendous decisions in all 3. We're going to take another look at them. First, we're going to show you Cliff Harris, who is back on the fair catch. He drifts off over to the left. He tries to draw the Minnesota player into it. Now the football does not hit him. Then his teammate touches it. Very good call. Not interference on that. Now we're down to the last minute, 51 seconds. Staubach pulls out, wants to go to Pearson on the sideline over here. Nate Wright is over there working the sideline. Did he have both feet inbounds? Would they have gone inbounds if Wright had not hit him? We think so. Watch now as we stop it down. Take a look at his right foot. Clearly inbounds. Wright comes through with a hit. Now watch the left foot. Clearly inbounds. Great call by the official. Now the play they will talk about for as long as they play professional football. Staubach with that Hail Mary pass down to Drew Pearson. Now watch first Nate Wright. He's going to get cut in front of Pearson, and I want you to watch the legs. We're going to stop it down right here because they're going to get tangled up right there. Now watch Pearson's right arm. Going to come up on the behind the shoulder pad. There was contact. It was incidental contact. He was going for the football, and Irvin Phillips, in our opinion, those were 3 tremendous calls last week in Bloomington, Minnesota, and of course that sets up today. The showdown between the Los Angeles Rams and the Dallas Cowboys. And our announcers here in the Los Angeles Coliseum, Vince Scully and Sonny Jurgensen. They're sitting way up there in the press box. So right now, let's go up to Vince for an update.
Thank you, Brent. Sonny, you've been there before. You've been behind center, and I just wonder the problems faced by Jim Harris. He hasn't really seen any action since the 7th of December. As a quarterback, what will a long layoff do to him, do you think?
It could affect his timing some, Ben. He hasn't thrown under pressure. He's going to get in the game, getting a start. He could come before a crowd here that may not be too happy with Jim Harris starting. The fact that Ron Jaworski has played 3 good football games and won 3 games for them. I do think that Jim, after he's in the game and throws the ball a few times, gets his feeling back, gets his timing back, he will be all right.
Probably in Los Angeles. It might have been the biggest decision for Chuck Knox since the baseball decision by Walter Alston 10 years ago on the final game of the World Series with Minnesota. He came down to should he start Koufax or Drysdale. He had them both warm up before the game. He went with Koufax, figuring he could relieve with Drysdale. And that might very well be his thinking today. He'll go with Harris knowing he can relieve with the kid, but he wouldn't want to do it the other way around.
That's for sure. I think that he feels that Harris is ready. He said to me on Friday that Jim Harris has won 10 out of 12 games. He deserves a chance to play if he's 100%. Today will tell if he is, in fact, 100% as far as throwing. On Friday, I didn't think he was 100%. I watched him throw. I didn't think he was 100% then.
Well, that's the feeling up here about a half hour or thereabouts before the start of the ball game. Let's go back to you, Brent.
All right, Vince, thank you very much. I should have known you'd get the Los Angeles Dodgers into that commentary, but you should have pointed out Koufax did a job, and they beat Minnesota in that 7th game. And the National Football League today on CBS will continue under this brilliant California sunshine in just a moment. 16-7, Pittsburgh still ahead of Oakland. The final 6 of the clock coming up. They're coming down to the 2-minute warning in that game. It has been a cold, bitter day in Pittsburgh. And incidentally, in Minneapolis today, we are told it is 3 below with a chill factor of 30 below. But I'll tell you, those Royal fans would just love to have the Vikings in this game.
That's right.
Phyllis, you got to come back to the West Coast. You did a marvelous job on the Rose Bowl coverage on CBS. Would you like to stay and live in Hollywood?
Listen, it's marvelous out here. I could stand the sunshine for a couple of weeks.
All right, Woody, thank you very much. The only connection between that celluloid world and this real world is that search for victory. And the coaches and players depicted by Hollywood in the 30s and 40s bear little resemblance to the coaches and players today. In Chuck Knox and Tom Landry here today, we have the best of the breed. In fact, this championship game is based on one tenet. These are the 2 finest organizations in professional football. As we mentioned last week, Dallas would not have been here had it not been for their organization. They lost many key men last year, but because of the athletes that replaced them, Tom Landry has fashioned brilliantly a team that has gotten into this championship game. The same thing is true with the Los Angeles Rams. 7 key men, 7 starters they lost to injury. That is a fatal statistic to any franchise. But the Rams were deep enough that their replacements have carried them this far. Now, what kind of teams are these this year? Well, the Cowboys say we'll beat you any way we can. The Rams humiliated them here in a preseason game, but on opening day, the Cowboys beat the Rams. The Cowboys then went on to play brilliantly, if inexperiencedly. They were flawless one week, inept the next, but they never lacked for enthusiasm or stubbornness. And when you consider that they come here to the Coliseum today off a 4th down and 17, you know they have a little bit of character. The Rams, of course, are a tremendously heavy, personal, physical team. Their strong suit is defense, and they have managed to disguise their deficiencies quite well. Dallas is a team on the make, a team perhaps that will not reach full potential for another year or 2. The Rams have been this far before, but never to a Super Bowl. They can answer a lot of questions this afternoon. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, today we have football in Hollywood, but it won't be like the movies.
Phyllis, Irv and I would follow you any place, but why Miami?
Talking about follow me to Miami. Well, of course, Super Bowl Sunday is next Sunday, January 18th, right here on CBS, and it starts at 12:30 Eastern Time. Bryn and Irv and I are going to get out of the studio and enjoy the Super Bowl the way most people do. I believe we're on a 70-foot yacht, and from the yacht we take a helicopter to the Orange Bowl where the big game will be played. What a life, you two.
And, of course, Phyllis, we fully expect the Pittsburgh Steelers to be there against the winner of this game. And, Irv, let's you and I take a look at the history of these 2 franchises, the Los Angeles Rams and the Dallas Cowboys. The Rams, of course, started out as the Cleveland Rams. I'm not sure that all of the young football fans realize that. And remember Bobby Waterfield.
Better believe it. 1937 it did start in Cleveland, but Bob Waterfield was a rookie, and as a rookie led the Rams to a championship game. The first time a rookie's ever done that at quarterback, and what a fabulous player he was, Brent.
Well, after they came west to Los Angeles, they played where today's championship is going to be, the Los Angeles Coliseum. And they have had a number of great quarterbacks. Remember this one, Irv? Norm Van Brocklin.
Norm Van Brocklin, of course, he left here. Went to the Eagles, led them to a championship. But Van Brocklin here throwing to Crazy Legs Elroy Hurst, number 40, was really a tremendous receiver and a fantastic runner once he caught the ball. Now, Van hits him here again. And remember, Crazy Legs came up to the Rams as a halfback, and they put him outside as a wide receiver. You can see the damage he does with his running ability.
And then in the 60s, the Rams came back. And, of course, it was under a friend of yours, George Allen.
George Allen. Really, George gave you a new lease on life, and what a fantastic job he did in rebuilding this club and reestablishing a championship tradition. Here, Roman Gabriel hit Jack Snow in a bomb, which really led the Rams back in the championship contention once again.
And, of course, Carroll Rosenblum acquired the Rams when he traded the Baltimore Colts to Robert Irsay. And last year, this team under Chuck Knox played for the title against Minnesota.
They played but fell short. They lost that game 14-10. Jimmy Harris throws an interception here, but the Rams didn't give up. I think the Rams at that point really matured, and they're back here once again, Brent.
And 8 days ago, we were here, too, Irv, when the L.A. Rams took apart the St. Louis Cardinals.
Warren Jaworski with a great arm hits Harold Jackson in full stride here. We might see this combination again if Jimmy Harris doesn't work out, but that's a dangerous combination.
So they've had a lot of skilled players out here in Los Angeles. And, of course, Irv, now we'll turn our attention to the Dallas Cowboys. And that's a franchise that doesn't have nearly as long a history as the L.A. Rams. simply because it was an expansion team in 1960.
They did a fantastic job, though, with a fabulous man. Tom Landry here as head coach, in my estimation, is just a coaching genius. Developing a club from scratch and becoming a championship contender is just a marvelous job.
They didn't win a game in 1960.
It was kind of a joke. Don Meredith was quarterback at that time, and the club had everything possible go wrong for them. They picked up Bob Lilly, and here Eddie the Baron goes to work and hits the guy I had to cover for many years, Frank Clark.
That's not you, Frank's beating right there.
No, it's not, as a matter of fact. It's a different ball club.
Then in the 60s, the Dallas Cowboys grew up. They played Green Bay for back-to-back titles, and who will ever forget 14 below in Lambeau Field when Bart Starr beat Landry?
The Cowboys never forget that, but again, they matured at that point, Brent, and you've established winning traditions by playing in championship games and learning. And here the Cowboys learned well as they beat Miami in the Super Bowl with this Dwayne Thomas run.
But then last year, the Cowboys failed to make the playoffs for the first time in 8 years. But even then, they had some magic moments.
You're darn right. If you're going to win championship games, you have to have great players from people. Here's Clinton Longley comes off the bench. You remember this one? A Drew Pearson impossible catch against the Redskins in the Thanksgiving Day game.
And, of course, there was still one miracle left for Pearson and Staubach this time at quarterback. That was last Sunday, Bloomington, Minnesota. Just a few ticks left on that clock. Time running out for the Cowboys. Somehow, Pearson makes a fabulous catch on this 50-yard pass. Gets into the end zone, and today it's Los Angeles and Dallas for the title. The National Football League today on CBS will continue in just a moment.
From the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum in Los Angeles, California, CBS Sports presents the National Football Conference Championship game between the Dallas Cowboys and the Los Angeles Rams. Hi, everybody. I'm Vin Scully, along with Sonny Jurgensen. A magnificent day in Los Angeles. Temperature about 70 degrees, and the crowd here giving their thanks to Drew Pearson. We understand it was below zero early this morning in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Sonny, going into the ball game today, being an ex-quarterback, let's talk about the most important factor as you see it.
Well, I really think, Ben, that the most important thing for the Dallas Cowboys is to stop the Los Angeles Rams on first down. They have to control them on first down. Last week against the Cardinals, they averaged 7.9 yards on first down. That is their key down. I think, on the other hand, for Los Angeles, it's the other way. They have to defense the shotgun better than they did on opening day when they lost 18-7.
This is actually the third meeting of the year. When the Rams beat them 35-7 in an exhibition game, Dallas stunned the Rams, beating them 18-7. And this one, it's the big one for Super Bowl 10. And now, with the Pasadena City College Band, that's the official Tournament of Roses band, along with the Marine Color Guard marching out to the middle of the field. In a moment, Miss Catherine Grayson will sing our national anthem, and this large crowd asked to stand as the colors brought to the 30-yard line.
In honor of America, please join singing star of radio, television, and motion pictures, Catherine Grayson, accompanied by the Tournament of Roses Band in our national anthem.
under magnificent weather conditions here in Los Angeles. We are just moments away from the start of the kickoff. We understand that Dallas has won the toss and elected to receive. That means we'll see Roger Staubach coming out right away to get his ball club going. And for Roger Staubach, a return to the Coliseum, the years go tumbling by. It was back in 1961 that a young midshipman by the name of Staubach led a Navy team here. And Roger Staubach, almost but not quite, upset a great SC ball club. But that's the first time in Southern California they really got to know the name Staubach. And from then on, with his association with Dallas and against the Rams, he's a household word in these parts. Roger Staubach at the helm. He's had some bad ribs. He also had a bruised elbow. Sonny, you were talking to him yesterday. What's his latest feeling?
He said he's 100% now. He said his ribs aren't bothering him. Probably in the best condition he's been in throughout the year because he has been banged up. But looking forward to it, and he said, we hope that we can get that shotgun going.
Tom Dempsey will be kicking off for the Rams, and deep, Doug Dennison, along with Preston Pearson. Dennison is 21, Preston Pearson 26. Tom Dempsey says he is ready. And here we go for the NFC Championship and a trip to Miami. He squirts one, tricky hop fielded by Dennison on the 2. To the 15, to the 20, across the 25, and he's buried. On the very top was John Capoletti along with Al Cowlings, Jim Peterson, and slowly getting up from the bottom was Dennis Harrah, who made the initial hit along with Rick Kay. So they all piled up, and here we go. The Cowboys, an explosive ball club, they were third in total offense. They were fifth rushing and fourth passing, and they were first in the NFC in offense. Staubach sends Drew Pearson wide to the left, Golden Richards wide to the right, and his tight end, Gene Puget, is on the left side. Pearson in motion, there's a handoff to Newhouse, and he stacks up immediately as he falls forward for perhaps a yard. Sonny, you were talking about the importance of first down.
First down certainly is important. I think for the Cowboys, possibly third down, what they do with the shotgun. They had some success in the first game against the Rams with it. Let's see what they do today. In talking with the Ram defensive people, they say they're going to play it a little differently than they did in Dallas.
2nd and 8, the ball on the Dallas 29-yard line. Pearson goes right, Golden Richards left. And now that's Drew Pearson in motion to the left. Dennison hit and then burst across the 30-yard line. A good second effort. Merlin Olsen, 14 years experience, number 74, was the man to hit him first. For the Rams, they have some experience with Olsen spearheading the defensive line. Jack Youngblood, Dreyer are not exactly grizzly veterans, nor are the linebackers.
They might get our first look at the shotgun.
3rd and 6 now, and they load up the shotgun. There's Staubach standing back on the 25. And Roger dropping back to pass. Goes high to the left side and overthrows Golden Richards. Right there with him was Monty Jackson, number 28. So Staubach misfires on the first shotgun, and the Cowboys will have to kick.
He was being safe with the ball, threw it away, made sure it wasn't intercepted.
Going deep for the Rams, Rob Scribb, number 33, and Dave Elmendorf, number 42. Mitch Huffs, who burned the Rams when he ran instead of punting for 13 yards and a first down the first time they met this year. He's also passed out of a punt formation, and he's 1 for 3. But this time he's going to kick it. And it is a very short kick. And grabbed on one hop by Elmendorf at about the 38-yard line, and the Rams are in action. This telecast, presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of the telecast without the express written consent of the Los Angeles Rams and the National Football League is prohibited. That was a 31-yard punt for Mitch Huff.
Pretty good field position here, Ben, for the Rams starting out. And, of course, we're seeing James Harris.
Ron Jesse in a slot left. He's inside Harold Jackson. 1st and 10 on the 38. Cullen Bryant Lawrence McCutcheon, the running back. And here goes McCutcheon, hit and stacked at the 40-yard line. McCutcheon last week against the Cardinals carried 37 times for 202 yards. And it's Jethro Pugh who hit him first, along with Ed Jones.
21 of those carries were on first down. They averaged 5.3 yards a carry on first down. You see the Dallas flex defense, and which is designed to stop the run, and it did then.
Again, Jesse in a slot inside Harold Jackson to the left. Terry Nelson, the tight end, on the right side. And it's Scribner and McCutcheon now, as Scribner and Bryant alternate all day. Harris gives to McCutcheon. Grabs, spun around, and knocked down by Dave Edwards, who made the initial hit. Then Charlie Waters and Jethro Pugh, but it was Edwards who has played 200 games. And we might talk about the veteran linebacking squad. Number 52, Dave Edwards. Number 55, Leroy Jordan. Number 50, D.D. Lewis. Amongst them, they have played 500 games. That's a lot of experience going on back of the line.
Leroy, talking with him, he's down from 221 pounds to 205 pounds. He said he's in great shape. I said, but it's 2'5" playing middle linebacker.
3rd and 11 from the Ram 37-yard line. Jackson wide left, Jesse wide right, and Bryant back in there with McCutcheon. And I think too much time. Let's see. Jim Harris studying a rather complicated Dallas defense. And we'll see whether it's too much time, and that's what it'll be. Tommy Bell is our referee. Pat Harder, Ed Marion, Bill Swanson, and Tom Kelleher, Dick Dulac. And Jack Lemon.
Is he one of the officials, too?
A delay of game penalty. So that makes it 3rd and 16 from the Ram 32-yard line. Jesse wide left, Jackson right, and Terry Nelson, the tight end, on the left side. Scribner and McCutcheon are split. Harris, a turn, a gift to McCutcheon. He got by Jones, and he's finally knocked down by Benny Barnes, number 31, along with Mark Washington, who came along to drive him out.
Very conservative call there, 3rd and about 15 to run a sweep. It's good for Harris coming into this game, then, to get a completion under his belt. He needs to throw the ball something short, get a good completion. He'll get a feel of what he's doing.
Golden Richards all alone on his own 26-yard line. And Dwayne Carroll, who won a game ball last year against the Cardinals, kicking for Dallas, now kicks against the Cowboys. It's short. Richards takes it on the 31. Trying to get a block, and he doesn't get it, but he does dive across the 40. He was waiting for Warren Capone, number 59, to get a good angle block for him. Capone couldn't do it, and that took away any chance for a lengthy rundown. No score, 11 and a half to go in the first quarter. By the way, in covering this game today, the Goodyear blimp will fly approximately 100 miles circling the Coliseum with the CBS camera in the sky. Right now, it's 1st and 10 for the Cowboys on their own 40-yard line. Staubach has Richards on the left, but he gives to Preston Pearson, who does a good fake to get by Jack Reynolds, but has to pay for it at about the 43-yard line. Reynolds tried to come up, Hacksaw, as they call him, number 64, and Preston able to escape it. Hacksaw Reynolds got the nickname when his Tennessee club was upset by Ole Miss in his senior year. Reynolds was so angry, he took a hacksaw and sawed a 53 Chevy in half. It took him 2 days. That's really the origin of the nickname Hacksaw. Middle linebacker, Jack Reynolds. All right, 2nd and 8. The ball on the Cowboy 43. Richards left. Here comes Drew Pearson in motion. Staubach shovels to Dennison. He's off Reynolds, and finally Elmendorf hits him, but a good carry to get out of the hands of Jack Reynolds, who had him at the 45-yard line, and instead he wouldn't quit and picked up some more. Take another look.
He does a good job here. Watch Reynolds in pursuit, taking his pursuit angle, playing off the blockers, moving laterally. You see him just missing the tackle there. He had a shot at him, but Dennison broke the tackle. That's Doug Dennison's a fine runner.
So here come the Cowboys. 3rd and about 1, just shy of midfield. out of the eye. Two tight ends on the right side to get a little single wing blocking. And Preston Pearson upended by Cody Jones, and I don't know if he made it or not. Cody Jones hit him low and sent him high in the air. Jones, number 76.
It's going to be a close. I think he'll have to measure for it. According to where they spot it. Nope.
They didn't make it.
Not even close.
So the Ram defense gave up only 135 points all year and only 4 touchdowns rushing, and they stiffened.
Evan, they have 5 starters that are not playing this game that started against Foster Brooks here, huh?
Taking the pledge.
They have 5 starters that aren't starting today that started against them at the beginning of the season.
Mitch Huff will punt from the 35. Rod Scribner standing alone on the Ram 10-yard line. Huff's a high pass from center, but he had plenty of time. There was nobody coming. Scribner has the ball hit on the 20 and kick out of bounds at the 18-yard line. So the Rams will open up shop. 1st and 10 on their own 18. So the Cowboys have had the ball twice. The Rams have had it once. Second time upcoming. Neither club has had any kind of a drive with 9.5 to go in the first quarter. The Rams and the Cowboys on a beautiful day in Los Angeles, a big crowd at the Coliseum. Tom Landry was won 126 games, lost 90 and 6 ties. The 7th winningest coach in football. Jim Harris now. James starting his drive on his own 18. He has Bryant and McCutcheon back of him. Harold Jackson wide right. Ron Jesse left. McCutcheon inside pulling Bryant's block. Gets out to the 25. He also got a good block from Rick Stahl, the center who pulled and cleared the way. He took, and that brings McCutcheon.
They made a fine
to the 25.
They made a fine cutback off of this blocking, and that's the first play they've been successful on first down.
So 2nd and 3. From about the 25. On the wing goes Scribner now, so McCutcheon is all alone. Harris hesitates, throws the ball to D.D. Lewis. He's hit at the 20, falls inside. And it was Charlie Cowan, number 73, playing on a bad ankle, who had to come back and shoestring, and the Wolves are howling at James Harris.
Yes, you can see the fake. He tried to force it. He actually thought the receiver was going out. He made a bad throw. That's the thing. You got to get that first completion under your belt. And he gets it, but to the wrong side, to D.D. Lewis.
D.D. Lewis with 109 games under his belt. The right man in the right spot. And only a limping Charlie Cowan was able to tie him down, or he might have gone all the way. So the Cowboys in the first big break take over 1st and 10 on the 19-yard line of Los Angeles. Preston Pearson and Robert Newhouse, a fake to both of them. Staubach, a little jump screen to the left side to Preston Pearson. He's to the 10, to the 5, gets by Simpson, touchdown, Dallas.
A great call in that situation. Had good blocking. Really great blocking. You can see here, going back, setting up the screen. They run a screen to Pearson coming through from the other side. They kind of cross their backs on it to confuse the linebackers. You can see the blocking out in front of him. Fitzgerald, Nye, Lawless, and you see him cut back, and it's just fine running by Pearson's part. Breaks the tackle by Simpson and goes in for the touchdown.
The only man who had a shot at him very early was Dave Elmendorf, but he was able to slip away from Elmendorf, and then the dance was over. So Preston Pearson brings it over, and for Pearson, he had 2 touchdowns rushing this year, and he picks that one up as his 3rd touchdown pass of the year. Sonny Fritz picks it up, and good. So the Cowboys, on a clutch interception by D.D. Lewis and a screen pass to Preston Pearson, are out in front of the Los Angeles Rams 7-0 in the early going of the first quarter. The Dallas Cowboys leading the Los Angeles Rams 7-0. Tony Fritz kicks off, and it's fielded tackled by Jesse, recovers on his own 15-yard line, and there are Cowboys in pursuit. Barnes and Henderson finally brought him down. Tom Henderson, number 56. who can really fly. Henderson on a reverse returned a kickoff 97 yards for a touchdown this year. This time he went after Jesse and nailed him, and the crowd booing James Harris. Psychologically, that really has to hurt. Have you ever been booed by your own hometown?
Are you kidding? Yes, especially in Philadelphia, but it is something that you just have to forget and go about your business.
First and 10 on the Ram 25. Ron Jesse wide right, Harold Jackson left. Out of the eye, Cullen Bryant the tailback, and now comes the split. The Deer defense, and here comes McCutcheon, and he's hit by Harvey Martin first of all, and down he goes. Harvey Martin, Mean Harvey, who's a teammate in college of Dwight White at East Texas State, and Harvey lowered the boom.
Harris is going to have to be careful now, not to get conservative, not to be scared to put the ball in the air. He needs to, going to have to throw the ball short on first down against this defense, because this is one of the best defenses in football on first down against the rush.
Second and 9 on the Ram 26. Ron Jesse wide right, Harold Jackson left, out of the eye. Now Scribner moving alongside Lawrence McCutcheon. Harris gives to Scribner. In front of him is Joe Chiavelli. However, Chiavelli can't do it alone, and Charlie Waters, along with Gregory, Dave Edwards, they all made the hit.
Dave Edwards made a fine play, turning the play back in and making the tackle.
Edwards, a 13-year veteran out of Auburn. He was once cut by Dallas as a receiver back in '62, but he's made it as a stub, a strong side linebacker, and he's played 200 games. Out he goes now for extra pass defense. Cowboys almost caught with a crowd on the field. McCutcheon and Bryant. And Harris back to pass. Down the middle and low, intended for his tight end, Terry Nelson. The pass was underthrown, and the complexion, the flavor of the game is the frustration of James Harris and the big decision by Chuck Knox to start him.
Well, you can see he pushed that ball. He didn't deliver it like the James Harris you know that can throw the thing. And he has a very strong arm, but that wasn't a very natural delivery.
For Dallas, Golden Richards standing on his own 35-yard line. Dwayne Carroll, as we said, kicked for Dallas last year. And gets a poor cut-off. It barely gets to midfield, then bounces down to the 35. And it'll roll and is down at the 32. So the Cowboys will take over first and 10 on their own 32. And one thing has held up. Neither team can boast of a great punter. They rank 9th and 10th in the conference, and we have not seen a good punt yet. You know, the dimensions of the Goodyear blimp, the Columbia, if they were placed on the Rams goal line, the tail would be on the Dallas 36-yard line. That's a big baby covering the ball game. Doug Dennison will take the handoff, get across the 35. Blaine Nye was out in front leading the block, and he went down under Cody Jones' pressure. And there is the pride of Youngstown and Lackawanna, Ron Jaworski, the Polish rifle, who led the Rams to consecutive victories over some big-name quarterbacks like Hadel and Hart to get him here.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see what Knox does, whether or not how early he will make a change, if in fact he'll make it in the next possession.
Staubach going to the right sideline, caught by Drew Pearson, knocked out of bounds by Eddie McMillan, and is just shy of midfield. A great leaping catch by Drew Pearson. And of course, Pearson, who burned Minnesota, burned the Rams back in 1973 with one of those big 80-yard passes. You know the look.
You can see the concentration he has here in jumping up and making the catch, knowing you're going to get hit when you come down. Great concentration to catch the ball here. And McMillan takes him out of bounds.
So Roger Staubach leading 7-0. Drew Pearson goes wide right. Golden Richards left. And there's a little brawl to Doug Dennison, and he gets across the 40-yard line and just short of the 35. He went right on by Isaiah Robertson, who got a piece of him, but he carried just shy of the 35-yard line. So a great run. Bill Simpson finally brought him down.
Just a little roll draw, And he just runs to daylight, breaks outside. The play designed to go inside of the defensive end. Dreyer had closed down so much that he was able to take the thing outside and found some daylight.
The Ram home record is 21-2 under Chuck Knox, but Tom Landry has his boys really going to the whip end early. Preston Pearson and Robert Newhouse has split. Drew Pearson in motion to the left. Play action fake to Pearson. Staubach down the middle, and it is intercepted. Intercepted by Bill Simpson. He's to the 40, to midfield, and knocked down there by Roger Staubach. Roger Staubach had to come and take Simpson down, and we'll take another look at another redhead. Bill Simpson.
He was just high on this pass, man. A little play action. He had him open, but he overthrows him. You see the height. Great interception. If he starts back up, if Staubach doesn't make the tackle, if he doesn't make the tackle here, you'll see him coming in the picture. Simpson will score. You see the tackle by Staubach.
So the Rams.
Chuck Knox has made the change.
Ron Jaworski is at quarterback. First and 10 on the Cowboy 49. 7-0 Dallas. Cullen Bryant, Lawrence McCutcheon, the running back. Jesse wide left. The tight end Nelson on the left side. And the rifle is going to the air. Down the middle, and he completes it to Cullen Bryant, who is knocked out of bounds by Charlie Waters on the Dallas 20. And the kid has come in with a vengeance.
He certainly came in humming it. You see Bryant coming out of the backfield at the bottom of your screen. He lets him clear deep. The end comes underneath. He finds him wide open. He got screened off. D.D. Lewis got picked off by the split end, and Bryant came clear.
All right, Jaworski sends Jesse wide left, Jackson wide right. Tight end Nelson on the left side. Scribner in there with McCutcheon. Almost a juggle, but a hand to McCutcheon, who was inside the 20 and buried as Too Tall Jones hit him at the bottom. Leroy Jordan fell on top.
A little bad exchange here. He fumbles the snap. See him go back after it. And gives it to McCutcheon. Still, let's look at it from this angle. We can pick it up. He's back. See, he gets good protection this time. The contact. Kind of hard to pick up the contact there. Ball thrown over the opposite shoulder.
The Rams have it first and 10 on the Dallas 19, trying to get on the scoreboard. Jaworski gives a fake to McCutcheon and throws to McCutcheon. He's at the 15, gets by Jordan and White, still on his feet, dragged down just shy of the 5. Mark Washington, Leroy Jordan, and Randy White couldn't get him, but it was Calvin Peterson and Mel Renfro did.
All right.
So McCutcheon gets them down to the 6-yard line as time runs out in the third quarter. The Dallas Cowboys sitting on top of that big lead. It was made on behalf of the National Football League. On a crystal clear day in Los Angeles, you can see almost as far as Dallas. But certainly not Miami.
You know, in 16 playoff games so far, Dallas has a pretty good road record. They're 4-3 on the road in 7 road games. And only 13 games have been won on the road in playoffs. 28 home team victories and 13 on the road.
Jaworski has it first and goal from the 6. Jesse in a slot to the left. Jaworski rolling behind McCutcheon and Scribner. And he's tripped up by Leroy Jordan. And he's finally knocked down by Waters and Pugh, but Jordan just threw his legs at Jaworski to trip him up. You see Leroy going at him feet first.
You can see the rollout here. He has both backs in front of him, all the linemen. You can see the defensive team stringing it out. He just ducks and tries to get in. You see Jordan trying to trip him. That's kind of a leg whip. But they get him out of bounds. A little assist from Jethro there. Inside the 1-yard line.
Second and less than a foot, it would appear, for the touchdown. The Rams trying to get on the boards, leading without a score today. Jaworski to Capoletti, and he scored.
And listen to the cheer.
John Capoletti.
Pretty good surge, you see, just a handoff. Little wedge blocking. He just beats Cole and just nudges across.
For the Dallas defense, they can console themselves with the thought that the only way the Rams got into position to score was on that pass interference call, which gave the Rams the ball, 1st and 10 on the Dallas 19. So it is 34-6 Dallas. 14 minutes to go. Dempsey, who has missed a couple of field goals, had one block. Try and put the PAT to it, and he does. 34-7 Dallas. 14 minutes left to go in the game.
That could inspire the defense a little bit.
Dempsey will kick off from the Ram 35. Preston Pearson on the 20-yard line and Doug Dennison on the 5. And the kick will go to Dennison at his 3. To the 15, to the 20, to the 25. That was Rick Kay who took a shot at his ankles and went sailing by. So the Cowboys, leading 34-7, will put it in play. 1st and 10.
You know, been through 3 quarters of play now. The Rams still have only had 2nd and 5 or less than 5 twice out of 14 times. The 2nd and less than 5 twice.
A great tribute to the Dallas defense. They have been magnificent today. 1st and 10 for the Cowboys on their own 25-yard line. Drew Pearson wide right, Percy Howard wide left. Gene Fugit backs off now into a wing and goes in motion. Staubach faking, rolling to the right and looking. Chased by Olsen and slides. He didn't get out of bounds.
Smart play on Rogers' part to stay in bounds then. He could have run on out of bounds, but he stayed in bounds just to keep the clock going.
Read a line where the author said something about to kill time for those who wish it dead. Well, in this instance, it is Roger Staubach who just as soon break the hourglass and get it over with. 13:25 left. 34-7 Dallas making their plans to go to Miami and meet the Steelers. 2nd and 2 from the 33. Doug Dennison gets right on through the tackle by Dave Elmendorf, enough for the 1st down. Elmendorf got both arms on Dennison and just slithered through.
For a short yardage runner, he always seems to break a few tackles to get across, as he did then. They like to have him in there on short yardage situations.
Tell you another thing about Dennison going into this game this year, he had fumbled once in 122 carries. So he's a sure grip man when they give him the leather.
They've only turned it over one time today on the great interception by Simpson.
1st and 10 on the Cowboy 37. Staubach to Newhouse. He gets by Youngblood. Olsen had him get away, and then he finally runs into a crowd. Jack Reynolds had him at the top of the head, and he slithered away from Reynolds. Actually, and of course this is probably fatigue. The Ram defensive club has been on the field all day.
They certainly have.
They are now really dead-armed in their tackles.
They're reaching. You start to reach instead of moving with your feet and starting to arm tackle a little bit, and that's what happens. They get strong runners, break them.
2nd and 6 on the Cowboy 40-yard line. Roger Staubach has completed 13 out of 21 for 181 yards and 4 touchdowns. Staubach has rushed for 54 yards. Percy Howard in motion to the right. There's a play-action fake. Now a throw to Drew Pearson. Ralph Neely blocking for him, but he can't block enough people. He threw the block on Monty Jackson, but after Monty Jackson, there were several other Rams.
We've seen this twice today. Faking a little play up the middle and the quick screen to the receiver. And you see the line coming out. Neely, Lawless, Fitzgerald coming out to form the blocking. Played well on defense here by Monty Jackson. And you see the hustle of Cody Jones. And Simpson coming in and making the play.
3rd down 3 to go. Ron Jaworski. Not so dobre. Dobre den, meaning good day, they tell me in Polish. That's not the word today. Staubach faking to Newhouse. Under a rush. Throwing down the right side. And a great reception by Preston Pearson out of bounds at the Ram 30-yard line. Preston Pearson.
Same play they scored on, and he made the great catch. You see the play action, the fake to Newhouse. You see him at the top of your screen coming out. He's under a big rush here by Youngblood, who really lays him out. You see the tackle being made. Perfectly thrown ball. I don't think I've seen Rogers throw this well in all the games I've seen him play. He's been as accurate on his long passes. He's hit everyone right on the button. The long throw to Golden Richard, the throw in the end zone a little earlier to Preston Pearson, who dove for it, and that's right.
Roger very much in command, leading 34-7. 10:43 to go. There's a give to Charlie Young, trying to get inside Rayfield Wright's block, stumbled and fell at the feet of Bill Simpson. By the way, the crowd is a story. First of all, they sold more tickets for this game than any postseason game in NFL history. 91,038 tickets were sold. Since it was a sellout, it was televised locally. And then the modern question is, how many no-shows? Well, only 7,000 no-shows. Here in the ballpark at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum, there are 84,483. Staubach handing off to Preston Pearson, who stumbled over the body of Cody Jones and fell short of the 20-yard line. Jones on the ground, and Pearson just tripped over him.
Not that you need any other indication that things are going right for the Cowboys, but the Rams were in a safety blitz then, and they just trapped him and ran right by him and had an easy play for him.
So for the Rams, they had a magnificent year. They won 12 of 14. They knocked off the St. Louis Cardinals, but they have run out. And for the Cowboys, a magnificent year and still some to go. Staubach throwing to the left side to Drew Pearson, who makes the catch in front of Monty Jackson at the 16-yard line for Los Angeles. It was 3rd and 2, so he picked up the first down.
Little short out here. Little 3-step drop and throws. And you see how open he is. You can't crowd Drew Pearson. And Monty Jackson, with the respect that he has for him, was off of him a few yards, allowing him to make the catch.
The Minnesota Vikings will spend the winter and the summer thinking of that nightmare pass to Drew Pearson. For the Rams, this has been a thoroughly forgettable game. They have been whumped. They have no second guessing. It's all over. But one man will be second guessed. He's man enough to take it, and that would be the head coach, Chuck Knox. It was Knox who made the decision to start James Harris. And I guarantee you in Los Angeles, the Ram fans will blame that decision for the ultimate score.
Well, I don't see how you can put the blame on the entire score.
No way, but they will.
They only made 2 throws. One was picked off. It certainly got the Rams in a hole. They got behind after one play. They threw the screen pass to Pearson.
Face mask on Los Angeles. First down.
Let's see if we can pick up the face mask. A little roll draw here to Dennison. Yep, you see Youngblood got a hold of it right there.
Jack Youngblood.
He made no bones about it. He was going to hang on.
He's sick and tired of being thumped out there. It is 1st and 10, but a little more than goal. Ball almost on the 11. Here goes Newhouse. And across the 10. Cody Jones and Merlin Olsen. For Merlin Olsen, by the way, Olsen has played 14 years. He has started in 14 Pro Bowls. And Merlin, out of Utah State, was going to quit last year and then said, no, I want to go to the Super Bowl. I'll play again. And this has been his year. And now you wonder if this large crowd, not only here but along the network, maybe they're seeing the last of one of the great tackles, Merlin Olsen, just as we saw the last of another great one, Bob Lilly. Staubach down the middle to Percy Howard, deflected by Monty Jackson.
Good play by Howard. Howard was open. He escaped in there, and Jackson came across and knocked it down.
Percy Howard is only a first-year man, and they really think he's got some ability, a basketball player. He's 6'4", 210. He figures to be heard from.
They had, when they started this season, it's unbelievable to think that they had 27 men with 3 years or less experience.
They had 12 rookies.
12, only one starting, though.
Burton Lawless.
Which was fortunate for Dallas that they were able to play their veterans. Only Burton Lawless started.
But they also had 14 of their starting 22 who played in the 1971 Super Bowl. So what they actually had was a pretty good blend of experience and youth. And there's Jack Youngblood and Roger Staubach having words, and it goes back at least to the time when Staubach tackled Youngblood on what appeared to be an interception. But Jack Youngblood is Jack Hotblood right now and an angry young man.
I can tell you exactly what that's frustration. Completely frustrated. Haven't been able to get to Staubach much. Again, they were on the safety blitz. Roger rushed to throw a little. He had to because of the rush by Youngblood, but just threw the ball away.
By the way, we should congratulate, especially when you think about it, Rayfield Wright and Ralph Neely. They have done a magnificent job of keeping Youngblood and Dreyer off Roger Staubach.
They certainly have. The entire offensive line deserves a lot of credit for giving him time, especially from the shotgun. He hasn't been under a lot of pressure from the shotgun. He's been able to run. He scrambled from that about 7 times for 54 yards. And that's the thing that they had the defense better if they were going to win today.
You know, Dallas quarterbacks have been sacked on the average 3 times a game. Fritz gets it up, and it's good to make it 37-7. So Dallas, going into the game, ranked 18th in protecting their quarterback. But boy, they have been number 1 in protecting their QB today. Dallas burying Los Angeles 37-7. 8.5 left to go in the game. Tony Fritz hits it down the right side to Willie McGee at the 8. To the 20. Warren Capone slows him up. He slips and Capone comes back to get a second shot at him and knocks him down.
You know, with this 37 points by Dallas today, they scored over 30 points 6 times during their regular season, more than any other team. A lot of points.
First and 10 on the Ram 32-yard line, and they are walking into the huddle. All the air has come out of the balloon for sure. Ron Jaworski sending Harold Jackson left, Jesse right, McCutcheon and Bryant. Jaworski down the middle to Jesse. And he's going to be hit. And the ball is knocked out of his hands by Cliff Harris, picked up by Terry Nelson, but they blow the ball dead. Terry Nelson and Leroy Jordan get into a little shoving match over a needless football.
What's going on? Fine pass here by Ron. You see him going back. Good coverage, but you see him, he has to throw the ball right at Cliff Harris. Nelson coming across. You see him, he's running him back and then tries to strip him of the ball. But the ball had already been blown dead. You see him rip the ball out.
Now Terry Nelson will try to run, and then Leroy Jordan decides that he wants the ball. And we get back to live play in midfield, first and 10. Jaworski intended for Jackson and covered instead by D.D. Lewis, his second big interception of the game. So D.D. Lewis, who made the interception against James Harris, and that led to the first Dallas touchdown. Now with 7 minutes left, D.D. makes another.
You can see, at this stage of the game, the linebackers are getting good depth. They're not concerned with the run. You see the pass, it gets tipped here. It's tipped up in the air by Jordan, and D.D. picked it off for his second interception.
Just in case it might come up, and in this kind of a game, it will. D.D. stands for Dwight Douglas. Big deal, huh? Flint Longley is is now at quarterback. The rattlesnake hunter out of Abilene Christian picking up for Roger Staubach, who then more than just did his job today. Longley giving to Dennison. Longley had only thrown 7 out of 23. He hadn't played much all year, but of course everybody in Texas will remember Thanksgiving Day, 1974.
You have to keep bringing that up.
That's when Longley came and threw that long touchdown pass to Drew Pearson, and Dallas pulled one out against Washington 24-23 and beat Sonny Jurgensen.
Now, I think it's a wise move on Tom Landry's part to get Longley in the game here and give him some work, because tempers were flaring a little bit, and you don't want to take the chance of getting Staubach hurt, because he has been banged up this year.
Boy, what a block Blaine Nye just put on Fred Dreyer. He knocked him right on his numbers. When you grade the Dallas linemen, so they tell me, the most consistent of the Dallas linemen is Blaine Nye, and the most consistent of the Dallas quarterbacks is Mr. Roger Staubach. What a day. Roger, in the big game, 16 for 26, 215 yards passing, 4 touchdowns. And for Tom Landry, he's a few minutes away from victory number 127 in his 15-year career at Dallas. Longley out of the shotgun. He goes to the right side and completes his pass to Drew Pearson, enough for a first down.
That's a good throw by Clint here. He hit him right on the numbers from the shotgun. You see the time he gets. It's time to get set, take the big step up, and deliver the ball. And you see where he throws it, right on the numbers. Little sideline. The contact made
by Eddie McMillan.
By McMillan, and you get another first down.
This is another frustrating note on the demise of the Rams today. They have not, I repeat, the Rams have not made a first down rushing. And no way to figure that.
There is no way. I think you're going to go back a long time and think about their schedule. I think their schedule was ranked as one of the easiest.
Here comes Dennison behind Ralph Neely. Tries to cut inside, and there's 5 Rams waiting for him.
Of all the teams in the National Football Conference, I think their schedule was ranked about the easiest of all the teams.
You think that hurt him?
I think that hurt him some, because Dallas had a tough road to get in this thing, just being the wild card team, not winning the Eastern Division, and in a dogfight with Washington and St. Louis all the way down the line, and the Rams had it locked up pretty easily early. And I think that it probably hurt them. They felt, and Chuck Knox, the man we were looking at, felt that the victory over Pittsburgh right at the end of the season was probably more beneficial than any other win.
Oh, to 2nd and 9 from the 44. Longley to Newhouse, and Newhouse across the 40. Elmendorf has him at the ankles. Ken Geddes and Bill Simpson also there.
Well, this is just a great run by Newhouse. You see the counter move. He takes a counter step, and he makes all this on his own. He reverses field, cuts back, and does just some great running. Elmendorf on the tackle.
Ball on the 34-yard line of Los Angeles. 1st and 10. 3 minutes and 47 seconds to go. The Cowboys, we understand, will fly back to Dallas immediately after the game. I don't know if they need a plane. Longley giving to Young, who's hit head-on by Simpson and dropped just short of the 30-yard line. Bill Simpson, number 48, the man to make contact. Simpson, on the Ram defense, gave the Rams their only bright moment with his interception. When the Rams were trailing only 7-0, it looks like the Redhead was going to bring him back. But it never worked. And that's Ralph Neely, who was once described by Bob Lilly as never being a rookie. In other words, the day he put on a uniform, he was a professional. Ralph Neely has done a great job, and the weary veteran comes out. 11 years out of Oklahoma. 4-time All-Pro. He's on the board of directors of a camp for diabetic children, so he works hard off and on the field.
He's been a great player for Dallas ever since he has been there. He's moved in, played hurt, never complained.
Longley to Newhouse, and he is wrapped up immediately by Jack Youngblood.
We have the third tight end playing for Dallas now. Ron Howard's in the game. Hasn't seen an awful lot of work this year because of Dupree and Gene Fugit. But they're giving everyone a look. Donovan in, Scott in on the left side.
The one rookie, Burton Lawless, has just come out. He's the pulling guard out of Florida. 3rd and 6 on the Ram 30. 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go. Clint Longley is keeping the chair warm for Roger Staubach. Handoff delayed to Charlie Young, and it's Merlin Olsen who slowed him down. And that gave Bill Simpson a chance to hit him. Oh, Merlin Olsen, 14 years. And the sands are running out now. The 2-minute warning has been given. 2 minutes to 1976 for Los Angeles. 2 minutes to Miami for Dallas upcoming. The Coliseum was full with over 84,000 here in person, but it is emptying out rapidly now with 2 minutes to go. And the Dallas Cowboys have emptied out the whole town. Clint Longley finishing up the last 7 minutes for Roger Staubach. Longley throwing to Charles Young, who makes the catch. Ken Geddes knocks him, and he can't get out of bounds at about the 15-yard line.
I don't think he wanted to. He just wants that clock to run.
I think Longley would love to get on the boards, however. And he's gotten it down to the 15-yard line. Clint Longley, 7 for 23, 1 touchdown pass this year, and 1 interception. Did not play against the Vikings, and he's 15 yards away from cashing in 1.
You know, from the outset, they've been in complete control of the game.
Absolutely.
They've never been under any pressure offensively, and you can certainly tell the way they're playing.
Yeah, they're playing with house money now. 1:14 to go. Longley to Newhouse, who has nowhere to go, ducks under Youngblood and scampers to the 11. He got right underneath Jack Youngblood and slithered through. But as we mentioned early in the third quarter, the Ram defensive club is exhausted now. And Jack Reynolds limping off the field. Even the hacksaw has lost its bite.
And the clock is running down with 47 seconds to play. The Rams not even bothering to call a timeout.
Well, the Super Bowl from Miami will be right here on CBS. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Dallas Cowboys. Tom Landry will try and think of something. 27 seconds left. Dennison tackled by Merlin Olsen.
That could be the last play.
In a sense, I guess, it would be fitting that the last play here involved a tackle by Merlin Olsen. Hearty congratulations to the Dallas Cowboys. They thoroughly whipped the Los Angeles Rams. But the Rams would be foolish to walk off the field with their heads down. They won 13 of 15 before today. And that's it. Chuck Knox loses only the 3rd time in 3 years at home.
And we have another champion after missing the playoffs last year for the first time in many years. Tom Landry and his Dallas Cowboys are back in it and the champions of the NFC.
It's a tremendous story. And as we mentioned earlier, under the present rules, this is the first wild card team to go to the Super Bowl. And talking about wild, that must sum up Dallas. Well, this has been Scully for Sonny Jurgensen. We'd like to thank Dr. Bob Woods for keeping our stats, Ozzie Lang for spotting for us, and that'll be it from us for football for 75. And now let's go to Brent to fill us into word.
Thank you very much, Vincent, Sonny. And I tell you, Phyllis, one thing I want to say, when you get wrapped up and you're the play-by-play broadcaster in a game like this, it is one of the most difficult assignments you can draw. And I must say that Vince Scully did a marvelous job. Folks, it's not easy when a ball game blows wide open like this one did. They certainly did. And of course, now it's on to the Super Bowl, and it's the matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Dallas Cowboys. I think it's a sensational matchup. The defending Super Bowl champions against a wild card team from the NFC. For the first time in the history of the league, a wild card team has wound up in the Super Bowl. Just think about the odds against that when the season started. here was a team matched against the Los Angeles Rams in their first game. They upset them. They kept coming back, even though they finished second to St. Louis in their division. And then in the playoffs, they had to go on the road twice, and they come away with back-to-back victories against the Minnesota Vikings, and now, of course, today in the championship game against the Los Angeles Rams. Phyllis, you knew it all along. Dallas is going to wind up in the Super Bowl.
You know, I am so proud of them because all along I've been, well, they're a good team, but give them a year or two. And I think they surprised a lot of people. And Tom Landry, as Irv said earlier, is a coaching genius, and he has done a marvelous job. Staubach, obviously, is just shine brighter than anybody here today. He is a marvelous quarterback, and somebody said he throws those high school bombs that you see, you know, in the 10 seconds left in the game, but he does it, and they work, every one of them.
Well, you mentioned Roger Staubach. I'm glad you did, Phyllis, because Tom Landry, of course, went with that shotgun formation. And if it's successful against Pittsburgh, I would think there are going to be a lot of coaches who may experiment with the shotgun, but of course you've got to have the right quarterback. Big, strong, mobile, and a very powerful arm as Roger Staubach possesses. So, of course, now the scene is set. CBS will be moving on to Miami, January 18th. We have a special pregame show. Phyllis, we have a few seconds left here. Maybe you can tell the audience what we got planned for Miami.
Well, I had on a little badge that said, follow me to the Super Bowl, but January 18th, which we're calling on here on CBS, the Super Bowl Sunday, Brennan Irv and I will be there at 12:30 Eastern Time, and we'll have an hour and a half pregame and lead right into the game. We're very excited about it. We're going to show you how people enjoy and get ready for a fantastic Super Bowl, and we've got two fine teams there. You know, one thing I wanted to say right quick was Preston Pearson. There's a story on him. He did a marvelous job.
All right, Phyllis. We're going to be joining 60 Minutes and so from Vince Scully and Sonny Jurgensen, Phyllis George, and Irv Frost. This is Brent Musburger saying so long for the Los Angeles Coliseum.
From the CBS Sports Center in the Los Angeles Coliseum, this has been the NFL Today with Brent Musburger, Phyllis George, and Irv Cross. The NFL Today is a presentation of